Cool, Sania, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Radha. I focus on women's sports journalism, so I'm very excited to speak to you. I'll start off with the first question, the most recent news of you joining RCB as a mentor. How did that come about, and how much are you looking forward to this experience?
When I was retiring, everybody was asking me what next, what's after this, and for me, I think one of the things that I really wanted to do is that try and help the younger athletes and the younger girls, especially believe and help them with the mental aspect of things as a professional athlete, because I think no matter what profession you are from, the kind of pressures that go into it and the kind of commitment and the discipline that goes into it remains the same. So when this conversation with RCB started, and I was like, even though obviously cricket has been so close around me for different reasons, it's not something that I'm like, I don't really understand cricket. And they were like, no, that's not what we need you for. We actually need you to help these girls understand the pressures that going with being professional athletes. And then it all made sense, right? Because for me, these young girls are the ones that are probably, a lot of them are being in the spotlight, and with all these kind of pressures for the first time, maybe, because women's cricket is finally getting that kind of attention for the first time. So it was truly an amazing opportunity for me also to get into something that is so different, but yet right up my alley, because these are the kind of pressures that I've faced for the last 20 years and have been put in the spotlight and on the spot, right? And I think that these girls are being going to be subjected to that. I mean, there are sponsorships, there are crores running on them. They're going to be on TV, they're going to do ad shoots, they're going to do all this stuff, which a lot of them have not done. And I feel that maybe I can share my experiences and somewhere help them try and cope with those pressures. That has nothing to do with me telling them how to play cricket or what to, because I can't do that, obviously, but I can help them go and connect with them on a level as a young woman, how it feels to play under that kind of pressure and scrutiny all the time, because I've had that unfortunately or fortunately experience for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, the lay person has always been asking, my family asked me, how does a tennis player fit into cricket? And I said, for cricket, they have a cricket coaching staff, but you really bring the softer aspect of it. And when you were a youngster like them, did you have this kind of mentor figure at all?
I didn't, and I wish I did, right? I mean, I would have loved to speak to maybe like, for example, I met PT Usha very late in my life, but I would have loved to speak to her to understand what kind of, because she was like literally the only woman athlete that we had as growing up as a this superstar figure. And I would have loved to meet her and be like, how did you deal with it? And that has nothing to do with her being able to tell me how to hit a tennis ball. And I don't know, I'm not telling these girls how to hit a cricket ball. The issue is not how to hit the ball. The issue is how to cope with the pressure when you have to hit the ball. So there's a slight difference in that. And so for me, I would have loved to have that kind of mentor where I could go to them and connect with them and be like, what do I do in this situation? I feel this, I feel this, I feel pressure, or I feel whatever. I mean, I don't know, whatever they feel like. I would love to share my experience, because I've been put in that position so many times over the last 20 years. And I feel that, maybe if I can help them with the experience I had, then it would be great, right? Because that's what we're here for, to try and make and build women's sports for the future.
I mean, I think you summed it up perfectly. I'm just going to ask you about your Australian Open experience this year. It was your last Grand Slam. Can you just take me through the 2 weeks in brief?
Well, it was a lot of emotion, which everybody got to see right at the end. But I was holding it all together for a couple of weeks. I was, trying to pretend like, oh, it's not happening and all this. But I was obviously feeling a lot. It was very, very, very special to play in front of my entire family, but more special to play in front of my son, because I never thought that I would play in a Grand Slam final in front of my 4-year-old who understood and cheered me from the stands. It was really, really special. And for me, it was Australian Open and Melbourne was where everything sort of started in my life. And to be able to have finished my last Grand Slam journey over there was very, very special. And to play at one of the biggest stages of world tennis was very special. So there were so many emotions, and obviously because I don't really show so much emotion, people think I'm quite an emotionless person. Actually, to the contrary, I'm a very, very emotional person. I'm just really good at faking it. I'm really good at hiding the fact that I have no emotions. So when everything, everybody got to see, even now, like I just went back to Bombay for a day, and when I was in Mumbai, like people I met and they were like, oh my God, we were crying. when during your speech, because I think that people don't really relate to me and crying so much. So
Talking about your son, what does he think of you? Does he know the kind of legend you are, or you're just like, it's mom first for sure?
no, it's definitely mom first. I don't think really I don't think he understands that much, but he does understand that we're different as a family. I don't know that whether he understands to what degree he understands that, but he does understand that we're a little different. He understands that there are not many mothers and fathers in his school that are going and playing, and the kids are going and cheering them in stands and playing in big stadiums, and he's had that obviously on both his father as well and me as well. So he does understand we're a little different. I don't know to what extent. It'll be interesting to know in a couple of years what he really thought of it.
And just talking about, what's next for you after tennis in terms of academies that you have set up recently. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, I've had a huge academy in Hyderabad for the last 7-8 years, and I'll be able to give some more time to that. Hopefully now that I'll have a little bit more time at hands. I have set up we started 4 academies here in Dubai, and which is my second home, so to say. So I would love to, and the whole concept in this is also the same, to try and just help the next generation, whether that's on the court, whether it's off the court, no matter what sport it is, to try and give back to the sport, because the sport has given me everything. So one of the reasons to start those academies was that, and I'm also around Hyderabad and Dubai a lot, so I can give a lot more personal time to it. And besides that, I think I'll do a little bit of commentary here and there. I still want to be very closely associated to tennis. I just want a little bit of a calmer and quieter life, a little bit away, just not living out of suitcases for 30 weeks a year, but I would love to take up, that's why when the whole RCB thing happened, it was something that really excites me. This kind of stuff where I'm able to help young athletes really excites me. So, if things like this come up, obviously I would love to take it up as not just as a challenge, but as something that I'm giving back, because in this also I'm giving back to women athletes.
I'm personally very excited that you said commentary, because I'd love to see you on broadcasting duties in the near future. So that's very exciting. Is that something that you just want to do, or you always thought about it from before?
I did a small stint during Wimbledon. It was in 2020, I think, if I'm not wrong, either 2020 or 2021, and it was really cool. I actually really liked it. It was I didn't do like a full-fledged commentary, but I did special comments and stuff, and I liked it because I think that it comes quite naturally to me, because I understand the sport. Obviously I understand tennis, and for me, I know a lot of the players personally. I've played with a lot of them, so it's very personal, and it doesn't take a lot of effort for me to do it, because then so I like it. I don't know how many weeks I'll do it for, because I still want to not travel like crazy, but I would like to do it for a few weeks.
Alright, I'll just quickly wrap up. Coming back to the first question I asked you, when you mentioned about how these youngsters are going to make big bucks suddenly and be in the limelight in terms of RCB, what was your relationship with sponsorship as your career progressed, especially Wilson being one of the big ones?
To be very honest, I didn't really understand money, and I still don't, which is, I don't know, a good or bad thing. It was not something that really drove me, and everybody has different drives and what drives them. Money was not one of mine. And I think that, when I picked up a tennis racket, I don't think anyone in their wildest dreams thought that from tennis you're going to make money, whether in terms of it was just by winning tennis matches, or whether it was through sponsorships or becoming brand ambassador of things. I don't think that was something that we aimed for, and which is why I keep telling the young kids today, whenever I meet them, and the parents, you should always play sport for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. And the right reasons for me are for the love for the game, for the passion for the game, to play for your country. Those are the right reasons for me. If you play for the fame and for the money, those are not really something that is a long term. It cannot drive you long term. It may drive you a while, and if you don't get it, then it's very easy to get over it. But if you have the love and passion for the game, no matter what happens, you'll keep going, and that's a long term sort of plan, and that's how I look at it. So for me, my relationship with brand was very clear. Like, we were very open about, like, we will endorse, but we will endorse things that I actually do relate to and I do believe in, a lot of the things. So we didn't want to do every single thing that came our way, because it was just not something that as it was not driving us to just like sign and make money. That was not something that we would do. So I guess I was very lucky that I had a good grounded family around me to teach me those values. And I'm sure a lot of these young athletes have great families around them to teach them, and the ones that don't have can always have come to people like us who have been in this position so many times. And I think once in a while a gentle reminder is pretty good as to what you should always remember why you started. You should not it's very easy to forget why you started.
I think those are some wise words. And just really quickly, over the span of your tennis career and now present day, you're seeing the youngsters come into your academies. What does tennis in India look like at the moment?
To be very honest, I would have loved for it to be that I'm moving away from the sport with having 2 or 3 young girls already playing in the Grand Slams. I mean, that should have been the ideal situation. And we're not there. And it does not look as hopeful as I would have liked, and that's the honest truth about it. And the last couple of weeks Karman was here in Dubai, and we were practicing together a little bit. She was playing at my courts at one of the academies, and I was hitting with her. I was having a great time. I was trying to help her a little bit, and we were talking about potentially I told her you're more than welcome to come. I'll be more than happy to help because I feel like it takes a big team. Like it's not just I'm going to make it or her coach will make it. Takes an entire team to get somebody to playing professional sport at the highest level. So we're hoping that she's probably that next person who's going to make that breakthrough. Having said that, she's not that young anymore. As a tennis player, she is 24. She's going on 25, and by 24, 25, usually you do make those breakthroughs. So I think this next year or 2 years is very crucial for her. I think that she's our next real hope.
All right. Awesome, Sania. Thank you so much for your time. I'll let you go now, and hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for answering my questions so nicely. Bye.